This is a post-Christian podcast.
Welcome to the Revolution Church podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Revolution's Meet Your Congregation. It is another beautiful day in paradise, and it is once again your host, Jay Baker, and Caleb. How's it going, Caleb?
Oh, hey, Jay. Didn't see you there.
That joke was good, the last one we did.
Yeah, I know, right? Start reusing material.
So today we are talking to Celina. And Celina, welcome to Meet Your Congregation. And also, where are we talking to you from?
Thank you. I am in Houston, Texas area. I'm in a suburb, but yeah, Houston.
Oh, Houston. My buddy Brian Yarbrough lives in Houston, Texas.
He sure does.
Do you know Brian?
I sure do.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm a disciple of Brian Yarbrough.
Really?
I sure am, yeah.
The plot thickens.
I once did a talk about Brian Yarbrough, probably 10 or 11 years ago, and I said, if there's someone who acts like Jesus the way I imagine Jesus would be, it would be Brian Yarbrough.
I think you said that when we did the Meet Your Congregation with him.
Oh, that's right.
Absolutely. I agree with you completely.
You know, when I got ECT, which is electric shock therapy, Brian flew to Minneapolis and took me to my appointments every day.
He's so sweet.
Yeah, he's the sweetest.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, we have kids that are similar ages. So I guess our girls were toddlers at the same age when we were in church together.
Oh, okay. Did you go to Brian's church?
I did.
Okay.
I was an elder at his church.
Oh.
Small world.
Not a small
world.
Me and my ex-husband were elders at I'm trying to remember the name. It was
Anchor?
DBC Houston, but then we changed it to Anchor Church.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you know?
So we were there in the beginning.
So yeah, you were there in the DBC days.
Yeah, those were interesting days for sure.
Well, I didn't want to. It's so funny because I originally didn't want to meet Brian.
Yeah, because of his associates.
Yeah, because I just had some falling outs with his associates.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
Including him.
Now that seems to be the popular opinion. But this is Meet Your Congregation, not roast the old church. I'm going to ask the obvious question, I guess, is, and it might not be obvious, though, but how did you find out about Revolution?
Man, okay. I've been thinking and trying to remember that far back. I want to say, were you in H&M magazine?
Yes.
At all?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was probably back when I had a subscription to H&M. So I must have been in my early 20s. I'm now 32.
I'm 44.
So one of my friends, she really loved your work and was always talking about you. And so I kind of looked into y'all. And at the time I was like, oh, so he's a heretic. Cool. Moving on. So I didn't follow Revolution back then. It came way later.
Okay.
And my theology was different.
Yeah.
back then.
No, that's funny. This is the second Meet Your Congregation where we've had someone say that they thought I was a heretic, basically.
I mean, technically, I guess. Maybe technically.
Technically, I would be.
But that's not a bad thing.
No.
Yeah,
if you go by the actual terminology, the actual dictionary definition of heretic.
You disambiguate the word.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus was a heretic. I want to say Paul the Apostle was probably a heretic.
Yes.
Like, you're thrown in there with the good ones, so that's cool.
Well, that's good to know. Jesus and Paul.
Jesus, Paul, and Jay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good band.
Show.
That'd be a good band.
That's
Jesus,
good.
Paul, and Jay.
Yeah. Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Did Brian ever talk about Revolution? I mean, how long have you been listening to Revolution?
He did. So I started listening to you guys when my kind of deconversion really started to kick in. So this is probably 6 months to a year ago is when I really started to kind of follow your work closely. And Brian talked about you all the time. And I was like, this is a serious bromance he's got going on.
We've got matching tattoos.
Brian Yarbrough.
Yeah. I actually really like that. Cause I think it's cool when guys are, when they support each other. I think it's cool when guys support each other. So, I thought that was really cool. But again, there was kind of a conflict there for me. Mostly because I knew I was queer from a very young age, but I was also told that you had to pray the gay away. So when I read your work and you were like, oh, it's not a sin, I was like, whoa, that doesn't seem to line up with what I was always told, So yeah, Brian talked about you a whole lot, and it definitely, I wasn't ready at that point. I wasn't ready to really to kind of receive, I guess, what you were saying. And I even saw a video. I don't remember how long ago this was, but I saw a video of you speaking at a church. And I think it was like some kind of Lutheran conference or something. Right. And you were like really bold. And you just straight up said, like, it's not a sin. We need to love our gay brothers and sisters. And I was shocked. When I saw that video, I was like, okay, I don't know who this guy is, but he's definitely got some gall. So I was just like, you were kind of always on the back burner. I was aware of you, but it wasn't probably until now that I really felt like I could be receptive to what you were sharing.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm an acquired taste. Well, the church is an acquired taste. I mean, we're a bunch of weirdos trying to figure things out.
I had a similar experience running into this guy.
What is the problem with all you folks?
I don't know.
Just like me from the beginning. Then I can become a cult leader.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, that's profitable. That's how you can start making money. You start a cult.
That'll work.
That's a good idea.
I'm surprised no one's accused me of that yet. But I'm so freaking unorganized. There's just no way that'll.
Of what, being a cult leader?
Yeah,
I've heard you be accused of being a cult leader.
I haven't. So I'm gonna keep it at that. I mean, I guess if you join the church and then your family sees it, then they're going to think you're a cult
that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, family members can say that, but anybody who's actually seen the church knows that there's just no way in hell it could actually be a cult.
It's like the least successful cult.
This is people know it's a cult right away.
This is a really shitty cult.
Got to have some really good selling points, I think, to have a cult, and I just don't have any good selling points. I'm like, I don't know, maybe. So, do you go to church in Houston?
No.
No.
So, I was a part of Anchor, I don't, when that was, 2000, maybe 12. My ex-husband and I were elders, and we had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of personal stuff in our marriage. So I decided to step down. And then I really felt a pull to just kind of go on a hiatus from church in general. I was really burned out.
Yeah.
Just from giving and giving and giving. I was that type of person. So, I just pulled back. I am the daughter of an evangelical minister.
Oh.
So I have been steeped in this stuff since birth.
What denomination were you raised?
Technically non-denominational.
Okay.
We were really charismatic though, kind of similar to Pentecostal almost.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up watching TBN and all that stuff.
Okay.
G-Rock was my jam. But yeah, so I stopped going to church around then. And I guess it was just a natural process where I started to kind of, deconstruct some things that I had always been taught, especially involving, women's role in the church. Brian was so pro-women. He was so all about us doing everything. And I was like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable with this. I'm not comfortable with men. So, I don't think that's appropriate. that was me at the time.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how steeped I was in, the kind of patriarchal teachings. I'm Mexican, so that's a whole nother level of patriarchy within the Mexican culture. So yeah, I haven't really been to church since probably about then, 2012. And a lot of personal stuff went on with my dad, finding out all kinds of scandalous things. So I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with church. I'm done with people that go to church and lie to everybody about their life. And yeah, so really, honestly, Revolution is the first church I've been a part of since then. And I didn't realize how much I missed it until I started kind of, listening. And I was just like, oh my God, I miss having a pastor. I miss, having that sense of community.
Yeah.
Because it's so ingrained in me.
Yeah, I think it could be almost kind of therapeutic to, if one is up to it, to decide to re-engage with the church after having been hurt by it.
Right.
I think that can be a therapeutic thing to do. It can be, in my experience, but I'm not saying it's for everyone. If you have no interest in being involved with the church, I don't think you should. Period. Like, if that's still so triggering to you to where you can't hear someone read from a Bible, then yeah, don't do it. But yeah, it can be a therapeutic thing to engage in, I think.
It was for me for years to hear people sing the songs we used to sing, to like read certain scriptures. Like, it was just like, okay, I'm hashtag triggered right now. I gotta go. Like, I cannot be here. Mm-hmm. And I tried for a long time. And really, even now, listening to you, Jay, like, there are some times where you'll read and I'm just like, ooh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
What?
I get a little uncomfortable. But it's like, you help me kind of, I guess, build my tolerance and my threshold, because the way that you present it is in a way that is very open. So I really appreciate that. It's helped me a lot.
Oh, thank you. That's nice to hear. Because, I hate to hear all the crappy church journeys. But I'm glad we're here for folks who just still want some sort of connection, because an online church is a weird thing for a lot of people, but for us, that's what we really are. The majority of the congregation is online. And that's why we're doing this, is so people can kind of maybe know who each other are and realize we all have different paths that we've come from and are on. But it's I'm glad you find it to be somewhat safe. But yeah, no, I get the triggers. I mean, sometimes even when I'm studying, I'm like, do I want to read this? I just want to skip it, because I did Galatians 4 today, and that's my. It's not that it's weird; it's just boring. So I wanted to skip Galatians 4, but that doesn't make for a very good Galatians study when you skip a whole chapter. So
you made the problem for yourself, bud.
Yeah,
you could call it your yearly Galatians series -4.
-4. Well, that might be a good one. -4.
-4.
So, man, I'm thinking of Brian. I wish Brian was still doing a church. That would be cool.
I think that all the time. I listen to you, you guys interviewing him, I started crying. Like, I haven't talked to him. I haven't seen him and Mary in years, but we're still, I think, on good terms. And he was really sad whenever we stepped down. And he was like, you guys can't go. We really need you guys to, kind of balance everybody else. And he didn't know. He had no idea what was going on with me, with my ex-husband. Again, I wasn't really comfortable confiding in men because I was told I shouldn't be. So I had confided in the other women in the church what was going on with me. But he just was, a little confused. But he was like, oh, I support you guys no matter what. And then everything kind of shut down. They wrapped up Anchor because it was really hard on him and Micah and their families. So, but I think that all the time, I think what Brian brought to the table was very unique for this area, being in the fucking Bible Belt. Yeah. And no one else has kind of picked up the torch, where he left off. We have some interesting, really progressive, gatherings, I guess, but nothing that's really been consistent like what we had at Anchor. Anchor, though, had its, pros and cons, because, I mean, we were the oldest ones there. Everybody else was, like, college or late teens.
Right.
So we were parenting.
Right.
It was a lot. It was a lot of work. But I still miss it. I still miss him. He's awesome. So,
just a genuine human being. I
He
can't say
is.
enough good about that guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he should start a cult.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yes.
Would you?
I'd join.
That's what we're boiling.
I'll join it down to him.
Yeah.
I'll join him, his cult. I'll be his co-pastor, his assistant pastor.
Co-cult leader.
Co-cult
Awesome.
leader, yeah.
I support this.
Awesome. We'll
Totally.
have to send him a text after
will
this.
you join?
Yes.
What a great idea. His beard's getting really big, so he would look the part.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We just need some Kool-Aid and we're good.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And some poison.
Yeah, great.
Oh,
Nice.
too soon.
Yeah,
Sorry, I feel bad about that.
it's okay. And that came out of the Assemblies of God, but we won't talk about that either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it did.
Speaking of edit points,
Strange.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jim Jones, I think, was an Assemblies of God guy. But
so.
anyhow, well, Celina, thanks for being so transparent with us today. I appreciate that, and kind of talking about this stuff, and the connection is really cool.
it's super cool.
Yeah, I love Houston. I need to get back there and visit sometime. I really like it there.
You should, but don't come in the summer.
Too hot?
It's way too hot. It's unbearable.
Yeah, well, it's unbearably cold here, so I don't know.
Oh, maybe you'll like it.
Yeah, I'll just wear shorts, like Henry Rollins style shorts.
Like booty shorts. Though.
Yeah,
You need
like Henry
full
Rollins
booty
used to wear,
shorts.
just those short little black shorts and nothing else.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
I love Rollins.
Yeah. He was cut, though. He looked good. It worked for him. I don't think it would work as well for me. Like, hey, there's an out-of-shape 44-year-old guy with tattoos. Hello, Houston.
Just throw on like a fishnet shirt. And
Oh, my
that'll
gosh.
kind of cover a little bit.
Yeah,
That'll work.
fishnet shirts are a good look for me, I think.
I bet. I
Yeah,
bet.
that's all I wear during the summer.
Yeah, you do, don't you? That's
Yeah, it's weird.
weird. You get those fishnet tan lines.
Yeah, it's really
Over your
weird.
tattoos,
Yes.
I look like a waffle when I walk around. Shirt off.
It's your signature
The
look.
bottom of Vans, the bottom of a pair of Vans.
It's awesome.
So we always ask folks in the conversation is besides not reading the Bible, I guess, what do you think? Even if that's one, I could take it into consideration. But what do you think? Do you have any recommendations for Revolution as a church of things that we could be doing more of, better at, lesser at?
Well, so I'm an Al-Anon, and I that's another thing that I really appreciate about you, that you talk about AA and 12-step stuff. But something that I noticed when I started going to Al-Anon a few years ago was that I really liked how meetings were not, like one person kind of running the show. Mm-hmm. And I would like to see more of that from you guys, of like, people kind of sharing, maybe you bringing in, other people that are kind of along the lines of doing the work that you're doing. Because honestly, I wasn't really aware of how many resources were out there until I started listening to you guys. And then Caleb in his like podcast, like just amazingness, like there's so many. Once I started following you, Caleb, like I started finding all these other ones.
Oh, that's sweet.
So
nice.
Yeah, that's been
good to hear.
super like amazing, like super helpful, because again, I didn't know all this stuff was out there. So, hearing from people that you guys kind of partner with would be cool, especially like women. I didn't really know. I didn't know. I started listening to the, like, I guess Everybody's Autonomous or something like that.
Yeah, everyone's autonomous, yeah.
And I really like the woman that's on there. I don't even remember her name.
Marie.
Yeah.
Marie de la Font, she's one of my besties. We hang out all the time.
Oh my God. She's so great.
Mm-hmm.
I relate a lot to the things that she shares.
She spoke at Revolution.
Yeah, she did. She gave her a talk at Revolution.
Nice. Okay, awesome.
Isn't that kind of weird? She's the only...
That's awesome.
I say this to her face, so I'll say it here. She's the only angry atheist that has given a talk at Revolution. But I think it's cool. I like that. I like building those
atheists.
bridges. Yeah.
Yeah. I love atheists. I am not. My girlfriend is, but we kind of, bridge the gap there between me identifying as agnostic and her as atheist.
That's cool.
We both like to talk a lot of trash. But yeah.
Good.
But yeah, I really like kind of hearing from other people, and I don't know if you guys have ever done like conferences. I'm, again, I grew up in the church, so I'm a conference kind of nerd. I don't know if other people are into that or have given you guys that feedback.
Yeah,
but,
we want to do that.
That would be pretty legit.
We just need someone to volunteer to do it. I can't coordinate something like that.
Right, that's a lot. It's a big taking on. I've helped organize conferences, and it's like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, we need a type A volunteer is what we need.
Right.
Someone who can crunch all the... I have a hard enough time, to be honest with you. We're doing like 8 interviews today, and I have a hard enough time coordinating that with different time zones and all that stuff. I'm just not as experienced of a producer, so that's good feedback though.
I guess that's all I can think of. I'm like battling a cold right now, so I'm like hopped up on all kinds of medication.
Nice.
So like spacing out.
You're fine.
No, those are great. Both great advice, and that's what we're trying to do. I mean, I think one of the reasons we don't have as many speakers is just because of budget reasons. If we had a better budget, I'd be trying to fly people in to speak more,
Right.
And it's just finding people locally. And
Josh flew himself in to speak. That was cool.
That was nice. So maybe more people will do that.
Yeah.
But I hate to ask people to fly in on their own dime.
I know.
I can't do that for other people myself. So we'll see what happens. Well, cool. Well, thanks for doing this. Thanks for introducing yourself to us and everybody else. And
Totally.
I love what a small world it is. And if I come to Houston, we'll definitely have to hang out.
Oh, totally. That would be awesome.
Rad.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys. You're really, you're helping, I think, a lot of people, probably more than what you even realize, because you don't even hear from them. You know what I mean? So I just want to say, if you can keep going, please keep going.
Well, that's the plan. This is all I want to do right now. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right. Y'all too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
We'd like to remind you that our ministry is supported 100% by listeners like you. To make your 100% tax-deductible donation today, please visit revolutionchurch.com/donate. You can also learn more by clicking the donate section on the website.
If you enjoyed this show, you might also like Loosen the Bible Belt with Kristen Becker and myself, Jay Baker. And it was that moment. And for me, I was 10 years old. So I remember hearing about it because I remember being scared, the idea of AIDS and things like that. But it also triggered something in my brain, in my work, especially 10, 11, 12, 13 years ago, where I became an ally and became very outspoken on LGBTQ issues and lost a lot because of it, more so than my parents did for the interviewing you, which is surprising. I guess they were just a machine at the time, but it really cost a lot. But it was because I saw the bravery in my mother. I saw the bravery in someone like you, that I'm able to continue my work and go, these boxes that we've created in religion have to be destroyed.
Yes.
There has to be room at the table for everyone, and forgiveness and love and hope for everyone, even for those when we misunderstand each other. And because I would say, there was no, I don't know if my mom ever came out completely as being affirming, but I know that it didn't matter to her. All that mattered to her was love. And for me, I built on that foundation. And so I have to say, if it wasn't probably for that day and that interview and that moment in time, I don't know where my career would be. I don't know where my mother's career would have been. It was people in the gay community who embraced her when we lost everything.
Yeah.
And kept her afloat. The Eyes of Tammy Faye was made by World of Wonder, which is run by 2 gay men who, loved Tammy Faye. You know, and everyone I've talked to always goes back to that video, to that moment in time. Everywhere I go, every conference I've been to, everywhere I've spoken, as soon as I became an ally, people started saying that video, the video, the video, the video, you know, and it was just, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being brave enough to do it. And I'm so glad that they found someone who was a pastor and had AIDS and things like that, because when I look at that, it made me feel like, you know, I don't have half of that against me. You know, I have to make the right choice. I've got to follow my convictions, you know, and seeing my mother to be able to be brave to do that. And for you two to come together and have that moment. I don't know how many lives it changed for the people who saw it, but I know for me and I know for my house, it changed us forever. And I'm eternally grateful.